Ever felt like life just threw you a curveball? Like one of those moments that makes you question everything?
Oh yeah, totally.
Well, that's what we're diving deep into today.
Okay.
A story about a young couple,
Okay.
Arushi and Vihan. They're trying to make ends meet and chase their dreams.
Yeah, the usual.
But then Arushi discovers she's pregnant, and suddenly all those carefully crafted plans they made
Right.
out the window.
Wow.
So it's a situation I think a lot of people can probably relate to.
Oh, for sure. More common than we realize, I think.
And this unexpected news really forces them to confront some pretty deep anxiety
Yeah.
about the future and their relationship.
Absolutely.
So we're taking a close look at this blog post called A Test of Trust, When Love Faces the Unexpected.
Okay.
And it gives us a really intimate glimpse into how Arushi and Vihan navigate this huge life change.
Interesting.
The writer does a fantastic job of painting this picture of Arushi's inner turmoil when she first sees those two pink lines.
Oh, wow.
On the pregnancy test,
Yeah.
you can almost feel the panic rising as she thinks, this wasn't supposed to happen.
Right. We were careful.
Exactly, we were careful. How could this be happening?
Right.
And then there's this clever contrast the writer uses.
Okay.
She's just received this message from Vihan, all excited about getting a dog. And he says, when we're rich.
Oh.
Which just highlights the
Yeah.
stark reality of their financial situation.
Yeah, that's a brilliant detail.
It really underscores the weight of this news.
For sure, a baby's not a pet.
Right.
It's a whole other level of responsibility.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're already struggling financially.
Exactly. And the anxiety is compounded by Arushi's fear of how Vihan will react.
Oh, of course.
She doesn't want to disappoint him.
Right.
So she's carrying this heavy secret and trying to figure out how to tell him.
It makes you think about all those unspoken anxieties people carry around, even when they're deeply in love.
Yeah. So Arushi finally decides to tell Vihan,
Okay.
and she picks a very specific location to do it.
Okay.
Their favorite park bench overlooking the city.
Oh, wow. That choice of setting is really significant.
Absolutely.
It's not just any bench.
Right.
It's a place that holds special meaning for them.
Exactly, in a spot where they've shared dreams and intimate moments.
Wow, and now she's about to drop this bombshell that could change everything.
Right, and the writer really captures the raw emotion of that conversation.
Oh, I bet.
Vihan shows up totally oblivious, in a playful mood,
Yeah.
completely unprepared for what's coming,
Oh, okay.
which makes his reaction all the more authentic.
I can imagine.
When Arushi finally blurts out, "I'm pregnant!"
Wow, you can practically hear the record scratch in his mind.
I know.
His first response is just stunned. How?
Yes,
Which speaks to the unexpected nature of it all.
totally. They thought they were being careful.
Right.
So there's this element of disbelief mixed with fear.
And then there's this heavy silence as the weight of the news sinks in.
Yeah, Vihan's mind is clearly racing,
Oh, yeah.
trying to process this life-altering information.
Right. And then he voices the very practical concern that's probably echoing in both their minds.
Right. How are we supposed to do this?
Exactly. Acknowledging the elephant in the room.
The financial burden that comes with having a child.
Right. And it's important to note that Arushi doesn't try to sugarcoat it.
No, she admits, I'm scared too.
They're both terrified.
Yeah, it's such a raw and honest moment.
But even in their fear, you can sense this underlying current of love and support.
Yes. When Vihan asks, do you want to keep it?
Yeah.
It's not a judgment.
No.
It's a genuine attempt to understand her feelings.
It speaks volumes about the level of trust and respect they have for each other.
Exactly. Instead of jumping in with solutions or opinions,
Right.
he's asking, what do you want?
What a powerful way to demonstrate love and partnership.
And Arushi's response is equally powerful.
What does she say?
She admits, I don't know. I can't make this decision alone.
There's such vulnerability in that statement.
It shows the depth of their connection,
They're facing this challenge as a team.
recognizing that they need each other to navigate this uncharted territory.
It's not about one person making a decision for both of them.
Right.
It's about figuring it out together.
And then comes the line that really stuck with me.
Oh, tell me.
Vihan says, we'll figure it out. I'm scared too, but we'll figure it out together.
It's such a simple statement, yet it reveals so much about their commitment to each other.
What's so remarkable is that it's not a denial of their fear
Right.
or the very real challenges they face.
He's acknowledging the fear,
Yeah.
but he's choosing to focus on their shared strength and resilience.
Instead of falling apart under pressure,
Yeah.
their love seems to be growing stronger.
It makes you wonder, how will they navigate this? What choices will they make?
That's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive.
Can't wait.
We'll delve deeper into the writer's reflections on this story.
Okay.
And explore what it reveals about love,
Yeah.
trust, and resilience in the face of challenging circumstances.
I'm ready.
So we've seen how Arushi and Vihan's world is kind of flipped upside down by this pregnancy.
Yeah. Definitely a huge curveball.
But what I find interesting is that their story isn't just about an unplanned pregnancy.
Right. It's about something bigger.
Yeah, it touches on something more universal.
Yeah, like what?
The challenge of reconciling our hopes and plans with the realities of life.
Absolutely. The author actually makes a point of highlighting the bigger picture.
Oh, okay. How so?
They talk about the importance of accessible health care
Okay.
and reliable contraception, especially for young couples like Arushi and Vihan who are facing financial constraints.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
While their story is personal,
Yeah.
it also kind of shines a light on those systemic issues
For sure.
that can make these situations even tougher.
Exactly. It makes you think about the factors that contribute to these unplanned pregnancies and what resources are out there to help couples make informed choices.
It's a complex issue, for sure.
It really is. There's no easy answers.
But I like that the author is encouraging a more nuanced conversation
Me too.
around reproductive health
Yeah.
and responsible family planning.
It makes you wonder what kind of support systems are in place for couples like Arushi and Vihan.
Right. Are there resources to help them navigate this?
And what about the societal pressures they might be facing?
Yeah, all valid questions. And while the author doesn't get into all of that,
Right.
they do pose a really powerful question to the reader.
What's that?
What would you do in Arushi's situation?
Wow.
It really makes you stop and think.
It does.
It forces you to think about your own values.
Yeah.
And how you would handle such a tough choice.
Because there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
It's about open and honest conversations with your partner to make a decision together.
And that's where Arushi and Vihan really shine.
Yeah.
Despite their fear and uncertainty,
Yeah.
they choose to communicate, to be vulnerable with each other.
It's their willingness to face this challenge as a team that makes this so inspiring.
It's a testament to the power of authentic connection.
Yeah. When we feel safe enough to share our deepest fears,
Yeah.
we create space for empathy.
And that's where true resilience comes from.
Exactly. The knowledge that we're not alone in our struggles.
It makes you realize that love isn't just about the happy times.
Totally.
It's about being there for each other when things are tough.
Right. And offering support without judgment.
And that's beautiful to see.
Arushi and Vihan's story is a powerful reminder
Of what?
that even when things are hard, love can be a source of strength and hope.
And even though we don't know what the future holds for them,
Yeah.
the fact that they're choosing to face it together,
Yeah.
that says a lot about their love.
It leaves us with a sense of optimism,
Yeah.
knowing that even amidst all the complexities of life, love and connection can provide strength and resilience.
We've spent this deep dive with Arushi and Vihan and this unexpected pregnancy, and it really makes you think about how often we make plans. You know, and then
Yeah.
life kind of throws us a curveball.
Oh, yeah. Life doesn't always go according to plan.
But I think what's really striking about how they responded
Yeah.
is their resilience.
Right.
This commitment to face this challenge head on. Together, what stands out to you as like the most important takeaway?
You know, it's funny you say that because for me, it's not so much about the challenge itself,
Okay.
but how they approach it.
Right.
Their willingness to be vulnerable,
Yeah.
honest about their anxiety.
They lean on each other.
Exactly. That's inspiring.
That's what's really inspiring.
It would be so easy to just shut down, to let fear take over.
Right.
But they choose to communicate,
They choose to have those open and honest conversations.
even when it's scary.
Makes you wonder if that vulnerability
Yeah.
is actually their biggest strength.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think it gets to the heart of what makes a relationship strong. Totally. Because it's not about avoiding the tough conversation
Right.
or pretending like everything is okay.
It's about creating that safe space
Yeah.
where you can express your doubts and worries.
Hopes without judgment.
Exactly. And that applies to any close relationship, right?
Absolutely. Partners, friends, family.
Being able to communicate openly and honestly.
Yeah. That's the
Because
foundation.
that's the foundation of trust.
Trust and understanding.
And that brings us back to the author's final thought,
Okay.
which I found so powerful.
Yeah. What is it?
They asked the reader,
Yeah.
would you have the courage to have that conversation with your partner?
Wow, that's a question that sticks with you.
It really does.
It makes you think about your own capacity for vulnerability.
Right, because it's easy to talk about open communication.
Yeah, in theory.
But when you're actually faced with a tough situation,
Right.
it takes courage to actually do it.
So sure.
It's a reminder that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is admit that you're scared, that you don't have all the answers.
You need support.
And that's a beautiful message to leave our listeners with.
It is.
Even though we don't know what's next for Arushi and Vihan,
Right.
their story gives us a glimpse of the power of love and connection.
It's a reminder that even when things are uncertain, we can find strength in each other.
And in our willingness to face these challenges together.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
let's all take a moment to reflect on our own relationships. Are we creating those safe spaces for open communication?
Yeah. Are we showing up for the people we care about?
Even when it's hard.
Because that's when we discover the meaning of love and resilience.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Yeah.
Keep learning and keep those conversations going.